Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Jerry.
Only one nomad went in on trial. He told him to shove it up and got found not guilty.
Yep.
That's the only one that ever got rain.
And then the whole split with the ugly men. That's the reason for the split, right?
Yep, exactly. And then nobody ever really got the truth as to why all of a sudden the split happened with the Mongols and the BANDIDOS. We still never figured out exactly why that happened. There was a lot of speculation, but there was never any, hey, sit us all down. Hey, this is what happened, guys. We found out this about them. We found out this, but nobody ever did that. So it left everybody wondering, and that's the problem. When you're sitting there and people are going, well, maybe, and whispering over here in this one's ear and telling this gossip ass story like we're a bunch of fucking little girls. Just tell me the truth. Hey, these stole $100,000 from the chapter we were about to put the beating on them all. They made a move and went Mongol, or whatever the situation was. But not telling nobody nothing kind of gets you a bad taste in your mouth all the way around.
What do you think about these different clubs inheriting beef from other situations?
I don't understand why they would allow it. And number one, quit getting in other people's business. If this club's got a problem with this club, let's go find a dirt lot. Get your members, how many you got, and we'll get the same amount over here and get dusty. Handle the problem and be done. But they don't. They hide behind all this bullshit. And lately, I've been seeing these clubs that they got old ladies are fucking talking shit, and old ladies are acting like they're members. Come on, snatch your old lady up and get her in line, because I don't get it. Number one, why should she even know club business? She should have no knowledge of that. But I notice it a lot, that there's a lot of women that are involved in a lot of these clubs nowadays. Not necessarily saying Bandidos or Mongols or saying anything like that or specific clubs, but I've seen a shitload, especially on the internet. AT&T warriors like you ain't never seen.
It's out of control.
Way out of control. Dude, look, and I have no problem with them, but you got these black clubs. All of a sudden they've come up and having wars with each other. What the fuck?
They just raided the Wheels of Soul motorcycle club because of a shooting.
Exactly.
And they're all facing life in prison because of their
life. But it just seems like in the last year it's gotten wild. Like these small clubs are all of a sudden thinking they're gonna jump big kid on the block. That ain't gonna happen. I be honest with you, I haven't heard a whole lot about the pagans lately. Like, they gotten real quiet. So I don't know if there's laying low. I ain't heard a whole lot about the outlaws either.
There's a lot of, there's some things going on. There definitely some things. Remember the shooting that happened on the highway? The guy was shooting at the car.
Well, yeah.
Just little things sporadic all over the country.
Yeah, but nothing. I mean, before, like right now, you can sit there and talk about Hell's Angels, Bandidos, Mongols. But the other ones, you kind of, it's like it's almost like they stepped to the back of the sideline and said, hey, let them, the feds or government or whatever, attack those three organizations, and we'll step to the side and see who's left.
Well, the Outlaws and the Pagans had a big thing going on down there in South Carolina or North Carolina. Allegedly, the Pagans shot up the Outlaws clubhouse and killed a member and shot another member.
Yeah, I heard about it. That's what I heard also, but then it gets kind of dissolved. Just
dies down.
Yeah, and believe me, we've had it here. Dude, we had the Mongols and a Bandito shooting here, and they arrested the Mongols. Dude, it's been 4 years. There's never been a trial. You can look it up on the internet. Look at the records. Nothing. Ain't nobody.
You just sitting in jail still?
No, they're out. All of them. Everybody bonded out, and there's been no court case.
What?
Yeah, this was a public shooting. Yeah, you can look it up, brother.
Now, what do you think?
It was at a strip club.
What do you think of the Mongol situation down there in Florida? With the warlocks.
I think that's gonna be an ugly scene. A lot of people downgrade the warlocks, but they got some crazy ass members. You know, I'll give them that much. They hold their, you know, at the end of the day, and, you know, I don't know. I haven't figured out what the gain is to all the, is it a power deal that everybody's trying to fight right now to get to the top of the bridge? But at the end of the day, the more heat they put on themselves is the more problem that they're going to open the doors up for the law. That's just the bottom line. And if you don't stop, just letting everybody in, who knows who you're letting in? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know as well as I do, somebody in your family is probably law enforcement. Might be a fourth cousin, once removed. Who gives a fuck? But somewhere in your family tree, there's a badge.
You're letting in the J. Dobbins or right or
exactly.
William. What's his name? That guy that infiltrated the Mongols.
Yes.
Billy.
Yeah, it's Billy something.
Yeah, I forgot his last name.
Yeah, but exactly. But you know what I'm saying? But that's kind of what, you know. I don't see how they can see that's not going to happen that way. You know, if you just open the doors up and you let it happen, you know as well as I do, Staxx. Eventually, you're going to let the roaches in.
I mean, that was a terrible idea for them to get involved with altercation down here at a gas station in broad daylight with their patches on.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. The bigger you put the light on yourself, the more the public's going to talk about you, and now you got other problems.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see the gain. It just doesn't make no sense to me. But it's one of those other things that still comes up. So is it just these ones that don't understand what it means, so they're just acting a fool to make themselves look good and show me, look what I did? I don't know.
It's a lose-lose situation for everyone involved.
For everyone, for both sides. I don't know. Okay, you know, maybe you lost a brother or whatever, but at the end of the day, now you have just as much light on your club as the ones that came and did the.
Did you see the workplace stabbing?
Yes, that's
Mongo stabbed a Hell's Angel. I have the video. Yeah. Did you see the video?
I know, I didn't see the video. It's crazy like that, and they don't understand. You know, back in the you know 96, 97, you know, even when the Laughlin thing happened, if they wouldn't have done the Laughlin deal in the casino with all the cameras, they would have never saw shit because it wasn't like it is now. Dude, there's so many cameras, you can't do shit without being somebody filming it.
Like back in the day, a situation like that would pop off and no one would know about it.
No, you'd pop off, you'd handle business, we'd jump on the motorcycles and we're gone. That don't happen no more. There's video. Every corner's got a video. All these gas stations have cameras. You tell me one place you go that don't have cameras right now. Somewhere.
Every people's house has got them. You got one in your hand. There's a camera in your hand right now. Like
exactly. You know, all these, and they don't understand that dude, they're getting footage. You took off down the road and made a left. Well, they're going to all those houses to try to get that license plate or try to get, you know, it's not the same as it used to be. You can't do like that no more. But you need to think about what you're doing with your patch on. What is it going to affect other people? You know, think about your 500-600 brothers that you just put light on.
Have you ever had a time where you didn't have your patch on and you ran across someone maybe you weren't too fond of?
Oh yeah, that happened a lot. Club. That was the best time to do it. You know, you ain't got your colors on or anything. You're a civilian. You get busy.
Yeah, but not at work, right?
Well, you should. I wouldn't suggest doing it at work, but you know, I guess, you know, if that's your opportunity, you know, it's no different than when Pee Wee got jammed up at the wedding chapel.
I mean, look what happens. I mean, that was his luck of the draw, right?
Yep.
What are the chances that they're going to both be scheduled at the same time?
Exactly. And it just happened, and at the end of the day, it's on. You know, and that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you about, like the type of man Pee Wee is. There was no hesitation. There was no, hey, we're getting it on. We're at war. We're not friends, and it was on. You know?
I don't think there was any avoiding that though.
No,
because these guys were like, they were going to get their guns, and he could have had a weapon on them.
Yeah, it was a situation, but that's what happens. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, before you make that move, and when you want to be in a club, understand what you're getting into, because that's what happens. Any given day, it can pop off at a McDonald's. It can pop off at the IHOP. You know, you never know. Understand what you're putting yourself into and commit. but they don't. They just think it's fun and games, and it's just, I don't know. I don't understand the new generation, and the new generation is lazier than. I don't understand how they're going to survive. They think a 30-hour is a work week, and I'm going, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Do you think the internet is dumbing things down a little bit?
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, I 100%. I think all the screen time that these kids are on, and all they think that shit's reality.